I did one and then went offline again real quick and then went back online again. Okay. Me too. So now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. All right. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About the same. So let's see how it does. I'm turned around. I'm walking out into the hallway. I'm going to go the other direction of the school this time. Do you see me walking down the hallway yet? Well, it's also playing the video on my laptop at the moment too, isn't it? Oh, you did. Okay. Well, you should be able to look at my wireless user and see how much bandwidth I'm passing. So I need to not forget to go to a Bristol school. I mean, Mobius and Bremen also, or Walpole. I mean, Walpole, Mobius, Walpole. They're having an issue in half of their building. Those done? Okay. So, yep. But there was one other thing that was sort of what our plan was for this rack that now isn't what we're doing, and I'm kind of we kind of talked about what we were doing with all the patch cords and all the ones that were left behind.
I thought any that were plugged in, we were going to leave to the side.
We were going to leave all. We were going to try to get all of them plugged into one working switch. That way, when they came in and they turned their computers on, they would just work, and we wouldn't have to come in and fix every problem. And after all the teachers are here, so just before day one or at day one or whatever, we'll come in and all of them that have lights on will move to the switch, and all of them that don't will completely get rid of altogether.
Okay.
So, not a big deal. I want to make sure that you're understanding the why we're doing things, so that way when we're doing them, it'll make sense.
You explained that to me at one point, but then when you explained to me that we were having the cables like plugging in but off to the side, I didn't realize they had to be plugged through one switch.
Yeah.
I didn't realize those two were connected.
Understand.
Implied to be connected.
Yep.
So, would you like me to put a switch in and then connect all these to that?
I guess so. I mean, so the three, there's a few ways of looking at it, and this is exactly where the confusion has come. As I've talked about it out loud, both ways of doing it. So I get that. One way was to suffer. They come in and they tell us something doesn't work, and we have to find it. And since we have every one of these written down, we could just clean everything out, unplug everything, and wait for them to tell us there's a problem.
We have all these written down?
you wrote them down and sent them all to Dino to both schools.
That was just a while ago.
Yeah. So we've given that. So Dino has kept that record,
Okay.
and we're holding him accountable for that. So we are talking about how we sent you all of the patch panel ports that we were using. Yeah. Yeah. So yes, Dino. Yeah. Ready? Okay, it's powered off. It's powering on. I'm also what's really holding me back is that we could just get rid of all these cords that aren't plugged in and everything would look a lot better. And then we can just come in and fix the things that need fixing. It'll probably only be a couple of them. And with the tone set, did you use the tone set today to find the or labeling, or how did you find the ones you had to find today?
I used the tone set in here. I thought it was always on, but there was a switch here.
Okay, right, but that has the tone.
So I used that.
Okay,
instead.
but so you that's what I was getting at. Was you toned it to find the wire, right? Okay.
There was the code on the jack anyway, but I tone set anyway to make sure.
So let's make it look good. We'll suffer whatever suffering we have to do
Okay.
with them coming in and saying that things don't work. We'll just make sure that we plan to be able to pop over here any given day, probably a couple days in a row, first thing in the morning, to find whatever teacher's room isn't working right. And we'll let them know that because of all the work done this summer, there's a good chance they'll come in and it won't work the first day, and they'll have to let us know, and that way they'll all be prepared.
Take some pictures just in case.
Go ahead and take.
Probably disconnected quite a few anyway.
Yeah, go ahead and take more photos or another photo. Send those to Dino and just make sure that you can see every one that's plugged in. So when you're done today, when you're done doing this, 90% of what's there should be our new patch cords, and we'll just have to see what other ones are left and why they're there, and if we want to remove them. So is that still streaming, Dino, to YouTube? Okay. Do you want me to go back to Facebook?